Today is the day we're gonna win. We're gonna fight.
Notre Dame stops it. The Irish win the game.
We play together, we play for each other, and we play to win.
Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Coca-Cola, Sprint, Gatorade, and Under Armour. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
Well, you know, we wanted to play with great effort, which we did. There's never mistaking effort on film. You know, critical errors at the most inopportune times. And then, you know, defensively, still struggling with a lot of youth. But again, I think, you know, there's expectations to improve from week to week as well.
Irish head coach Brian Kelly talking about the things that jumped out at him as he studied the video of Notre Dame's gut-wrenching overtime loss to a gritty Northwestern team that just kept battling the Irish for 60 minutes and then some. Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. After 10 games, Notre Dame is 7-3 on the season with losses in 3 of their last 4 contests. Many Irish fans are worried about their favorite team's recent struggles, but Coach Kelly believes things are not as bad as some of the naysayers may claim.
You know, the game is a game of inches, too, right? We lost a heartbreaker at Florida State. You know, we lose an overtime game to Northwestern. And you could say what you want about the Arizona State game. We'll consider that one where, you know, we made a great comeback, but we played sloppy. But you're easily sitting here 9-1, and everybody is happy and talking about maybe going to the playoffs. We're close, but we know where our mistakes are, and they're pretty clear.
This is Kenny. Kenny is a dentist, but he races autocross on the weekends. But he's not thinking about his tires right now. Kenny buys all his tires from TireRack.com. Using their exclusive test track reviews, he knows he's always getting the right tires for his car. But Kenny's not thinking about tires right now. Kenny's thinking, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. This is awesome. TireRack.com, proud sponsor of the Tire Rack SCCA National Solo Program.
All across America, people are making the move to improve their TV and internet service by dropping satellite and switching to Xfinity.
Satellite was so frustrating. Bad customer service is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Comcast customer service has improved a lot over the last few years.
I love Xfinity On Demand because there's a lot more options for my kids to watch. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Martin, and we weren't happy with satellite, so we switched to Xfinity.
Join the move to improve and try us risk-free for 30 days. Get started with Xfinity TV for just $19.99 a month for a year. Call today.
Sweat. It says I was here. I worked here. It says I only have so much to give before I have to take. What I lose, I want to get back. Sweat says I earned this. Gatorade, created to help replace what you sweat out.
The Notre Dame Northwestern game lasted 4 hours and 12 minutes and saw the two teams run 176 plays and gain a combined 1,221 yards. So it's easy to forget the contest started with Notre Dame quickly jumping out to a 7-0 lead just 44 seconds into the game on a career-long 61-yard touchdown run by Everett Golson.
A zone read play where, you know, we felt like we were going to get a particular look. We did, and good read, good blocking downfield, and Everett used his speed to get in the end zone, so a good start for us.
After Northwestern ties the game, Cody Riggs forces a fumble. Austin Collinsworth scoops it up and scores.
Yeah, it was nice to see Austin in the right place at the right time, and to, you know, get a defensive touchdown obviously is a big thing, and we talked about, let's jar that ball loose. Let's come up with a turnover, and it was a big turnover for our defense.
You are doing what you can to fix some of the struggles in the kicking game, but unfortunately that extra point got blocked.
It was a muffed extra point. It was not a bad snap. Malik needs to put that one down. He didn't. Then they tried to kick it. Probably wasn't the best idea to kick it because the corner was already compromised, and the defender, obviously blocked it and was able to scoop and score. And
you come right back and your defense gets a stop on fourth down.
You're looking for those little positive things, and I think what I liked about it is they hung in there and came up with a big stop on fourth down. Again, from our standpoint, those are the little things that we're trying to build on defensively to gain some of the confidence, and I think that was a big stop for us.
And then you attack right away. 2 big passes to Fuller on this drive.
Getting the ball to Will is obviously one of the important things that we need to do, and Will has been outstanding for us all year and comes up with 2 big plays for us.
And then Folston scores in a really nifty move.
Yeah, we were running a little zone read in the short field, and Everett's reading that Will linebacker, maybe pulls it, maybe he doesn't, but he hands it out, and nice spin move by Folston gets into the end zone.
Northwestern's trailing by 4, and then another regrettable turnover on a Golson pass.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to obviously feel that. He was in the grasp, and you don't want to be throwing the football. You got to take the sack in that situation. It hits off of Christian Lombard's helmet. Great effort by Will Fuller tracking him down and knocking him out of the end zone, I think about the 4 or 5 yard line, but they're able to capitalize and get a big score in that turnover.
But again, you guys come right back. 56-yard drive ends with a 23-yard touchdown pass to Fuller.
A real good response after a terrible play. Thought we mixed it up pretty good there, ran the ball effectively, and then you're looking for Will Fuller in that situation. We had a great opportunity to get him the football, and I thought they executed very well.
The Irish owned a 27-23 lead at halftime after racking up 305 yards in total offense, but Notre Dame had also allowed the Wildcats to gain 298 yards in the half. Clearly, the Irish continue to miss their defensive quarterback, injured linebacker Joe Schmidt.
It's pretty clear with a lot of young players out there that it's important, especially when you don't have a veteran that's in the back end of your defense. It puts a lot of pressure on everybody. Again, we got to grow and we got to learn, and hopefully week to week they learn and can use these as positive opportunities.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for her kids' ice time. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time. And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before she got 3% back on gas, all with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Got him in group as a go.
Yes! Not just a startup, an upstart. Gotta get going.
Gotta be good.
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 Growth is the goal. How do we do that?
I talked to UPS. They'll help us out. New technology, smart advice. We focus on the business and they take care of the logistics.
UPS.
Good going.
We get good. That's great.
Great. Great.
Great.
Great.
Great. Great. Great.
Great.
Great.
I love logistics.
This is Jessica. Jessica is driving to the mall, so she's not thinking about tires right now. If she were, she or her parents could go to TireRack.com to find the right tires for her car and get them delivered to an independent recommended installer. But Jessica's not thinking about tires. She's thinking, OMG, if Colt doesn't ask me to the prom, my life is totally over. It's tragical. Tire Rack is a proud sponsor of Street Survival, a hands-on driving experience preparing teens for real roads in the real world.
After a Northwestern field goal cut the Irish lead to 1 early in the third quarter, the Irish pushed the lead back to 8 points with another touchdown pass to Will Fuller.
Will, he's the guy to get it to. We quick screened him, and he's got great acceleration. The rest is in the end zone.
Fourth quarter, Kolu comes up with a huge interception to set up another score.
He was a little soft earlier, and then he came up, played aggressive man-to-man coverage, and that's what we want. You know, there's a lot of good things to look at defensively. I think the development of Cole Luke this year has been outstanding. I think he's a positive sign. I think Devin Butler did some good things.
And, of course, Will Fuller is a very positive thing, and he scores again.
He's the guy to get it to. You know, as you can see, he's electric when he gets the ball in his hands.
There's a lot of things that go into decision-making, and there are some struggles in your kicking game now. So at this point, you guys had a two-point conversion play you thought would be successful, and you elected to go with that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, in retrospect, we should have kicked it because it puts them in a different situation. We were chasing points where we shouldn't have been chasing points, and quite frankly, we should have kicked the extra point. So that was a decision that, you know, on my part, that was the incorrect way to go about it. Obviously, we felt like we had a good play, or we wouldn't have called it. It didn't come out that way, and they made a good play defensively, and now we've got to find a way to win the game.
And you're leading 40-37, and the unthinkable happens. Cam McDaniel fumbles.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you finish the game with Cam McDaniel? That's what we do. That's who we are. And we're going to put, you know, one of our seniors in there, and if I had to do it all over again, Cam McDaniel would be back in the game with the ball in his hands. We weren't going to take a knee and just try to run the clock and then punt it. Just one of those things. Unfortunate, but huge turnover.
So you go to overtime. They win the toss, and that's always a key, and you guys can't make the field goal.
The key play on that third down is if we got Will Fuller wide open and we just throw the ball in the ground. You know, Kyle Brinzer usually makes those kicks in his sleep and didn't make the kick, and now we're in a bad situation because we've got to hold them. And we do. We do a nice job defensively. Don't give up any yards, but now they've got a field goal kicker who's hot right now.
There is your final. The Irish lose it 43-40 in overtime. We learned on Sunday that Everett Golson suffered a sprained shoulder during the Northwestern game, but is expected to start against Louisville on Saturday. Defensive linemen Sheldon Day and Daniel Cage also suffered knee sprains in the Northwestern contest. The final stats show a game with a ton of offense on both sides of the ball, with a touch of sloppiness on the part of both teams as well. As we go to break, here's this week's ATI Physical Therapy Strong and True Moment of the Week. Mike McGlinchey's block of a Northwestern field goal attempt in the fourth quarter, the first blocked kick of the sophomore's career.
First play contributed a little bit. You sitting there saying, hey, you're not good at it. I hadn't gotten one yet. Hey, keep going, right? Hey! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Losing is always difficult for the fans of a team to endure, but it's much tougher for the players, especially those players who have to represent the team to the media and the public after a heartbreaking upset loss.
Very difficult, mainly for, feeling that loss at home. We don't like to lose at home, so, everyone wants to defend, their home turf or field, so that's really the toughest thing. Learning, you gotta stop losing, before you can start winning. So that's really the main key.
Obviously, it's really tough. It's not something that we wanted going into the season, but everybody has to bounce back. We can't just mope around and sit around about it. So,
got to win this week. That was the first thing I thought. Okay, all right, you guys got us, but we got to find a way to win these next 3 games, and that's just my only focus right now.
It has been an especially difficult year for Irish captain Austin Collinsworth. Collinsworth injured a knee in the final practice before the season opener with Rice and missed the first 4 games of the season. He then dislocated his shoulder against North Carolina and did not return to the field until Saturday's game with Northwestern. On his second snap against the Wildcats, he scooped up a fumble and raced 32 yards for the first defensive touchdown of his college career.
When I first saw that ball on the ground, I'm like, thanks, God. Like, that thing was a gift. But yeah, it was picked it up and got got a lot of good blocks and was able to put it in the end zone. It was just a lot of fun. A great moment on an otherwise bad day. It was a great play by Cody, getting that ball out. He punched it out beautifully, and it was just sitting on the ground so perfectly. It wasn't even rolling around. It was just the easiest swoop and score ever. I was pretty familiar with that situation, and it was fun.
Now let's take a look at Coach Kelly's choice for this week's TireRack.com Drive of the Game.
Early in the game, setting the tone, the first drive where we get out of the gates quickly. We told them we needed to start fast. I thought we started fast, put points up early, was probably the drive of the game.
The evolution of luxury continues. The next generation 2015 Escalade.
Sprint has done it again. First, there was the Sprint Family Share Pack. A family of 2, 4, or even 10 gets unlimited talk, text, and 20 gigabytes of data to share with the entire family for only $100 a month. That's double the high-speed data of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Double the data. And now check out Sprint's new unlimited plan. Individual lines of unlimited data, talk, and text at just $50 a month per line. Our lowest price ever. Enjoy either plan with iPhone 6 for $0 down. Sprint, it's the best value in wireless.
Autry Keener is a die-hard Irish fan who lives just outside of Fort Wayne and is fighting a courageous battle with muscular dystrophy. The disease makes it impossible for Autry to play football, but he still loves the sport, and his lifelong dream was to be an equipment manager for the Notre Dame football team. During the North Carolina weekend last month, the team made Autry's wish come true.
Our program has a long-standing relationship with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I found out that this wish had been on the docket for 2 years. I also found out that the children who make their wishes have the opportunity to change it or look at something new, I believe, every 6 months. Autry's wish was to be a manager. We decided that it was about time that we got this thing done.
Not a whole lot of Make-A-Wish kids choose this, but this is what he truly wanted to do. He thought that would be a great way for him to actually be a part of a football team and not have to, not being able to be on the field, but on the sidelines.
I wanted Autry to have the best experience ever because he knows physically he can't play the game, but he has passion for the game. This is his thing, and this is it for him. This is what he wants the most of, to look forward to, and he was able to accomplish that.
Watching him ride out to onto the field, he didn't have a whole lot of trepidation about where his boundaries were. He just was out there, which was awesome to see. Autry being from just outside of the Fort Wayne area, he was really excited to meet Jalen Smith.
How you doing?
Actually, Jalen jumped out of a stretch line to come over and say hello, which was an awesome thing to see.
Come on, dude! Hey.
But yet to see our guys come over in droves on their own accord just to say hello because they realized that this was a special young man was a really neat thing to see from the character of the kind of guys that we have. Coach wanted to speak with him on the field and have him down there, with the team environment, and he actually gave Autry an assignment.
So I don't know if anybody told you this, but all the plays that are 3rd and 25 or more, you're calling them. All right? I can't hear anybody on my headset when it's 3rd and 25. So if you want to speak up, you can call those plays on Saturday.
Autry was a kid of few words.
He's a quiet guy, but we see a different side of him, and he was very excited.
Just to see the look in his eyes and looking around and understanding kind of where he was and what he was having the opportunity to do, it spoke volumes, probably much more than his words could have said.
Autry's going to be here to help us out.
Ryan Grooms, our equipment manager, he was gracious and invited him in.
What we want you to do is just go around, help us. We're going to get the jerseys on the shoulder pads. Need Jalen and Everett's visors to make sure that they're clean and ready to go for Saturday.
To see him really fulfill, I think, a dream, that was neat to have him be a part of really fulfilling what he wants to do.
He felt part of the team, and it was awesome for him to feel that way.
I mean, the whole atmosphere here is just, this is an awesome community, and real, all I can say is real genuine.
Did Autry's wish come true?
Yeah, a billion times over.
This weekend has been cool and even more than I expected.
Everybody took their time just to make him feel special. Thank you isn't enough. Words can't express.
Bring me to tears a little bit, but it's just been awesome.
The team enjoyed having Autry around just as much as Autry enjoyed his weekend as a Notre Dame football equipment manager. Austin Collinsworth's work is not yet done on the field or on this show. The graduate student, who has already earned his undergraduate degree in finance from the Mendoza College of Business, is about to make quick work of my questions on this week's 60-second drill. Favorite all-time movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
Player on the team most like you?
Max Redfield.
Favorite national sports broadcaster?
I'm going to say Chris Collinsworth on that one.
First car you ever drove?
Audi.
Favorite TV show?
Friends.
What's it mean to be a captain?
Leadership. Responsibility.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
If you were a professor, what class would you teach?
Leadership.
Favorite sports team other than Notre Dame?
Bengals.
First word that comes to your mind when you think about Culver?
Fun.
Toughest player to tackle on the team?
Greg Bryant.
Hardest hitter on the defense?
Austin Collinsworth.
Best singer on the team?
Corey Robinson.
Best dancer on the team?
Torrey Hunter.
Best comedian on the team?
Elijah Shoemate.
Best comedian on the coaching staff?
Coach Van Gorder.
Best dresser on the team?
Cam McDaniel.
Worst dresser on the team?
Romeo Aquara.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Everything.
Austin Collinsworth, you've completed the 60-second drill on Inside Notre Dame Football.
Thank you, Jack.
Couple of quizzes. Dinner? I don't know. Oh, love that. Send me the recipe. You too, Mom.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, what are you doing?
We're just sitting down for dinner.
Perfect. Mind if I join you?
You did it.
Whenever you're close to Meyer, you're a little closer to home.
A financial institution is behind many of the milestones in your life. Pick one that sees you as more than just an account number. Own your dreams. Join a credit union today.
It's time for this week's Ask Coach Kelly question, presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from Joanne Winter of Marietta, Georgia, who asked, Coach, could you explain what the two players at your side on the sidelines are doing? Are they sending in the play or confirming the play?
They're sending in the play. We have two signalers. One of them is a live signaler. The other one is a signaler that's giving false signals, so you can't break or decode what our signals are going into the game.
If you would like to send in a question for Coach Kelly, all you have to do is log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Kelly in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page. Next up for the Irish on Senior Day, an athletic 7-3 Louisville team that has had 2 weeks to prepare for their meeting with Notre Dame Saturday.
Well, one of the better defenses in the country. You know, Coach Petrino is an outstanding coach and does a great job with their offense. Yeah, we've got a great challenge from our standpoint. You know, if we can take care of the football, take care of some of the things that we can control, you know, we believe we can win any game we play, and this will be another opportunity for us. And it's our seniors' last home game. And so certainly, you know, that plays a part of it, and we want to certainly come back and get a victory for them.
And that will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. We will, of course, have all the highlights of the matchup between Notre Dame and Louisville on next week's show. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly has been presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Coca-Cola, Sprint, Gatorade, and Under Armour. Inside Notre Dame Football is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.